Hello everybody, and welcome to another playthrough of Die in the Dungeon. Today we're playing Dungeon Level 6. Now this dungeon has a very specific layout for where the epic parties go. So in this layout, you have to only position Epic Party Level 1 with the Assassin, and Epic Party Level 4 with the Patriarch. And the caveat to that is that you cannot defeat the Patriarch party until you've defeated the Assassin party. They're kind of working in tandem to try to infiltrate the dungeon, and so you, as the dungeon monster, must take care of them. Now, one thing I neglected to place already was my token, so I'll put the die tokens there and there. That represents where the epic parties are. And let me just pull up my map here, and I'll position the other tokens quickly, and then we'll get started. So we've got the magic upgrade, the bonus health, we have the magic upgrade, bonus health, we've got the time goes here, ability goes here, we've got a couple of D20s on this particular map, so Twent and Twent go there and there, and then we have, of course, might and agility, put those there and there. And we've got a couple of Cuberas D6s go there and there. And that is all we have for support for this particular layout. This is one of the harder levels of the dungeon map. Alright, so I've already got my decision on what I want my stats to be. So you can see there my time, my ability, and then my 4 stats. Might, agility, magic, and health. And we are ready to rock the dungeon. Now, fittingly, I'm trying to defeat the Master Cleric, the Patriarch. So of course I'm going to use my diamond for that. I mean, he really doesn't like those religious folks. They're out to get him. They don't believe in his demonic kind. Alright, so how are we going to do this? Well, I have to travel throughout the dungeon, try to build up my hero or my creature a little bit, because the more heroes I defeat, the more dynamic dice I get, which help me modify dice rolls in the future. But also I may want to unlock some stat upgrades or get a couple of these D20 Dominions if I can find enough time to do it. So if I were to charge right in and try to defeat the assassin, I would probably lose the game. So let's start off with a little bit of, we're going to go upwards actually. We'll start by going upwards. We'll try to get a D20 and maybe that extra ability points for this game. So we move up, we've got to move our time down by 1. Ability point is up by 1. And the first encounter of the game is might. So in this particular one, we gain 2 might, upgrade if this exceeds your max. That's not bad. So we gain 2 might, and I only had 6. I kept my might low this game, so my 6 actually gets upgraded to an 8, which means I get a different die. Up to 8 might, I'll take that, and that's active for the rest of the game. But, unfortunately, I do have to fight 4 level 2 fighters according to that tile, and level 2 fighters are not an easy group to beat normally. One good thing is that I focused my energies on magic, so I actually have my highest roll on magic, which is the fighter's weakest point there. So we'd find 4 level 2 fighters. We're going to lay them out in a line here. Let's see if we can see those on camera. Yes, we can. And we're going to go right into battle. Now before battle starts, I do have a choice to use an ability if I want, whether it's a card, which I have the Deity Crush to defeat a cleric hero, or a permanent ability like the Daimonic Fire to make sure somebody doesn't add their defense this round of combat. I am comfortable not using either of those right now. Actually, you know what? For this round of combat, I could take out... we'll say we'll use the ability point. 4 fighters is a lot to take out, so we're just going to make this guy here will not add his stats to the hero's defense this round of combat. So what that means is when I'm attacking them, his stats don't matter, but when they're attacking me, his stats do matter. Alright, so the fighters, they're going to attack me, and if I refer to my lovely hero chart here, because there's 4 fighters, they actually get an extra +1 per extra fighter. So they're going to get +3 to their roll. And if they do roll higher than a 10, I'm going to take an extra damage. So these fighters are in it to win it. They're going to roll at me with this green d20 here because they had 6, 12, 18, 24 attack. And so the highest die roll they can roll is a d12. They rolled a 12. That is most definitely a hit, but not only a 12, 13, 14, 15 against my 8. So they're going to hit me for 1 damage, which is upgraded to 2 because they rolled over 10. That is the fighter's ability. So I have to take 2 damage. I can choose whether I want to take health damage or might damage. It's early in the game. I'm up against 4 fighters. To me, it makes sense to take the damage to my health right now and maybe start taking it to my might later on. Because any damage I take to my stats is permanent and can hurt. So what am I going to do? I'm going to fight back. I've got a pretty strong magic die, and their magic defense normally would have been 8, but because this one doesn't apply, their magic defense is 6. So I have a 50-50 chance of hitting these guys. So I'm going to attack, and I'm going to use the blue dice when I roll. Okay, so the diamond's attacking. The diamond rolls a 4. That is a miss unless I do some kind of extra modification to that die. And again, even though it's early in the game, these are a tough group, so I'm actually going to lose 3 magic, bring myself down to 9, and bring this up to a 7, because I'm worried about them hitting me too many times this early in the game. So because I'm over their defense of 6 magic, I will take out one of the fighters, but I'm not going to take out the fighter that I applied some fire to, because that guy's already hurting, and I want to take out somebody who's not hurting, so I always get to choose who I destroy. Now the fighters are going to fight back. They have 6, 12, 18 might left, which means they still roll a d20 to attack. They've rolled a 7, plus 2 is a 9, against my 8 is a hit. Thankfully it's less than 10, so I'm not going to take an extra damage. I'm just going to take 1 damage, so I'll continue to take that to my health and hopefully recover that later on. My turn to attack back. I attack with my magic. Their defense is now only 4. I have rolled a 1. I'm just going to not modify that and let them attack me again. So the fighters attack. That's a 9, 10, 11. That's a hit against me. I'm actually going to take a might damage this time because it's starting to hurt. Now I'm going to fight back and roll my d12. I have a 5 against their 4 defense, so yes, I can take out a fighter, knock him out. They're going to attack me now, but they've only got 12 attack now, so that means they can actually roll a 12 on a d12, which means they don't get to roll a 20 anymore. They have a 4 against my 7, plus 1, so they have a 5, which is a miss. I'm going to fight back. They've only got a 2 defense now. That's a hit. We'll take this guy out. Then this guy gets to attack me. He only gets a d6 now, but he can still hit me. Even though I have 7 might, he can hit me if he rolls a 6, because they always hit on a max roll, because heroes always have a chance. That's a miss. Now that is not a benefit of a creature, so if I roll a max roll, if it doesn't exceed theirs, I don't get that bonus that they get. But that's okay, because I'm about to impale him with my horns. Oh, that's a miss. 1 against their 2. I'll let him attack me again. Can he hit me? No. Can I hit him? No. I'm a 1 roller on this dodecagon, whatever that is. They roll a 1. I roll a 1. They roll a 2. Come on. There we go. Took out the fighter. Alright, that was a big fight for the first thing of combat there. Now I defeated 4 heroes, and every time you defeat a hero in this game, you get to upgrade your dynamic die up that many points. So I'm up to 4 points on this particular dynamic die. Once I get to 6, it's going to become a special pip die there. Keeping in mind that this creature board has to be updated, there should be the pip numbers on there, but that comes later on. Anyhow, we have made it through the first tile of the game, and that was an epic one. That was 4 level 2 fighters. That's one of the stronger tiles that I probably will encounter this game, so it did chew up some of my points early on. But that's okay. We're going to move on up. In order to move, I have to lose time and gain an ability point at the beginning of my turn. And then I will explore this tile. So in this tile we have found Faith's Shield. That is a level 3 tile. And it says the cleric must be defeated twice this battle. And I have to fight a level 3 cleric and a level 3 wizard. So that's a double whammy there. Double whammy because the level 3s are pretty tough. So level 3 wizard and a level 3 cleric. And you'll see that once you get up to level 3 characters, their stats are quite high. So they're going to have 7 might, 12 agility and 16 magic. Ooh, 16 magic hurts. There's not duplicates of any hero, so they don't have the duplicate power. But the wizard does have a power where if they roll over 10 on an attack, then I would lose a time in addition to the regular magic damage. And I have to defeat the cleric first, so I've got to defeat the cleric twice because of that tile before I can even go after the mighty wizard. Alright, so I'm back to 1 ability point. I could use my demonic fire, but I'm going to choose not to. I could use my deity crush to defeat 1 cleric hero, because that's a level 1 ability. You know, I might actually want to do that. No, I'll save it. I know in this particular dungeon, it's built into the map that I'm going to have to fight the assassin level 1 party, and I know that party has a cleric in it, and I may want to save that deity crush for that particular battle, because when it comes to the cards, you only get to use them once per game, unlike the ability points. So I'm actually going to save that. I'll just do this fight mono and mono. Just looking at their stats now, I can roll a 10 for agility. They've got 12. That could be tough. But the cleric has to be defeated twice, so even if I did use my deity crush, I can use it in the second round. So we'll just play by the dice this time. So they get to attack me. They've got a d20 for magic, because they have 16 magic, and the only way you could roll 16 is on a 20. So they're going to roll their magic attack. They've got a 14 against my 9. That is a hit. Because it's over 10, I take a time damage from that wizard. Ooh, 1 time. And then I take either a health damage or a magic damage. I get to choose. So I'm going to take the damage to my magic right now because health is already at 5. Now I get to attack back. Their might is a 7 and I roll a d8, so I do have a chance there. Their agility is a 12 and I roll a d10, and their magic is a 16 and I roll a d12. So I think I'm going to actually attack with might, my weakest stat, because my weakest stat is actually best against them. I've rolled a 4 against their 7. I could boost that roll up to an 8 by losing 4 might right now. Again, knowing that that's going to affect me for the rest of the game. Is that something I want to do? It's a 50-50. I could roll less or more than that the next time I try this. So we're going to take the 4 off of this. So I'll go down to from 7 down to 3 to bring this up to an 8. 8 is then higher than 7. So I defeat the cleric. But I have to defeat it twice. So usually when I want to defeat it twice, I'll rotate it sideways to indicate that I've defeated it 1 time. Because there's a couple of things in the game that require you to defeat a particular hero twice. Now, at the beginning of the next combat round, I can either use an ability again or let them attack me. You know what? We're just going to do it. We're going to do the best thing we can to pile through this dungeon and defeat that cleric now. I might be using all my resources a bit too soon, but level 3 heroes are tough. So the wizard still gets to attack me. They have a 10 magic, so they're going to attack me with a d10. Still have a decent chance of hitting me. They rolled a 4, which is a miss. So now I get to fight back. Now my might has a much stronger chance of hitting. They've only got a 1 defense. I rolled a 2, so I get to take out the wizard. Now I did have to use one of my precious ability cards, unfortunately, to do that, but that's okay. I defeated 2 heroes, so I would move my dynamic die up to a 6. Once it hits its max value, then it gets to go inside the dynamic die chart there, and I'll have 1 pip to use whenever I want to modify any die up or down by 1. So it can be used on my attack rolls or on the hero's attack rolls, unlike my stats, which can only be used on myself. Okay, so there we go. We made it through the second thing. I'm going to jump in and try to get these ability points now. So first I take my start of turn action. I have to go down a time, so I'm down to 16. And when I go down a time, I also gain an ability point. Then I'll move over to this tile. When I move to this tile, I immediately gain that. And I can choose to save it or use it right away. I'll use it right away and gain... I'll save it. I'll just have to remember to use it later. And then I explore the tile. So what did I find? I found a group of wild mages. So 2 level 1 mages. And each time a hero is defeated this battle, I take a magic damage. So I'm actually going to guarantee to take 2 damage this game. Whew. because these little wizards have wild magic going on all around them. So I'll be battling 2 level 1 wizards, which is not too terrible. I mean, they're pretty weak when it comes to might, but their magic is tough. And so before combat starts, I can choose to use an ability. I'll choose not to this time around. Then they get to attack. Now, because they have 12 magic points and they're wizards, they get to attack me a wizard attack, or a magic attack. Roll a d12, that's a 4 against my 8, so I do not get hit. So I can attack back, and I'm going to go right after them with some might. I get a d8. That's an 8, so I defeat one of these wizards, but every time I defeat a hero this battle, I take a damage. So I have to take a damage. It is a magic damage, so I can choose to take it to my health or my magic. I'll take it to my magic this time around. Then this lonely wizard gets to attack. He's got 6 magic, so he'll roll a d6. 6. So even though 6 is less than 7, the heroes always have a chance, and so that wild mage really made those buzzing acid arrows fly around and strike me, even though I did my best to dodge them. And I take 1 magic damage. I could take it to health. I choose to take it to magic, so I'll go down to 6. Right. Once I'm down to 6, I can do my next attack, and I'm going to roll agility this time. I have a better chance of rolling higher than 1 with a d10 than a d8, so roll that agility. I have an 8 against their 1. That is a hit, so this wizard is also dead. But again, because I defeated a hero this battle, I have to take another magic damage, and I'll take it to my health this time. Ouch. So I made my way there. All that to get myself a couple extra ability points, which I think will be important in the game for when I use them. Alright, next round I'm going to move over some more, so I'll bring my 16 down to a 15 for time, and I will gain an ability point, so I'm up to 2 ability points, and I will move over to this side here. So I'm going to gain my d20 Dominion token. This can be used at any time to add a d20 roll on, so I don't get to add 20. When I use it, I get to roll a d20 and add that. And this character, by the way, is Twent. Alright, so I'll put Twent on my board here just so I don't forget. So I have Twent and I have an ability point to remember to use when I want to. But it's not over yet. I still have to explore this tile, and I found a transform. And this says I can spend ability points to gain that many points on any die on my creature board. And in the rules it says if I ever get more points than a die I have on my 3 stats, I can actually upgrade that die. So this is a great opportunity for the diamond to take advantage of. I can actually go down 14. So I go down to 14 time, and I'm going to gain a point on my agility. So instead of 10, I'm going to go up to 11, but because my d10 can't go to 11, I get a free upgrade. So I will move my agility to an 11 now. So that was one way to sneak that in. Now I could boost my magic or my might, but if I do that, I'm going to keep losing time. And how much time do I want to lose in this game? It's tough to say, because you have to spend time to explore the board to build your creature to be able to defeat the epic parties. And if I were to quickly count, I would need a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 time minimum, assuming I didn't lose any time to traps or wizards. So 6 time. I could probably maybe get through this game with 10 time. So I think I will take advantage, and I will boost my... You know what? We could go super agility. So I'm going to gain another one and another one. So I'm going to go down to 12 time. It's a dangerous game I'm playing, and actually boost this to a 13, which will upgrade me one more time. So now I have a 13 on agility. Originally started magic heavy, but found an opportunity to really boost up my agility. So now I'm a super fast demon with some tough magic and a little bit low might. I don't think I'm going to push it any more than that, though, because if I lower that time anymore, I put myself at risk to wizards and traps. But that is a really cool tile, and you can use it in all kinds of ways. Okay, so we've got 1 Dominion at our disposal, a couple extra ability points to use when we want to. So I will before the turn's over, I'll use this and these 2 ability points. So this is worth 2 ability points. That's 4 ability points to use my Summon Dominions card. So what that's going to do is give me 2 D6 Dominion tokens. I'm just going to pull them. I think I might have a few spares here in my box. Yep. The game comes with a couple extra of the D6s just for that thing. So I get 2 Cuberas to add to my creature there. So now I have 2 extra Dominions. I couldn't have done that if I already had D6 Dominions, and I saw that I'm going to acquire D6 Dominions, so I want to use that ability beforehand. So I've used up my ability points, I used up my ability token, and I will continue on to explore the dungeon. Now I'm going up against a lot, but I think just to kind of gauge how time is going to go in this game, I'm going to go and take care of those assassins and that level 1 epic party that I know I have to defeat. So I will traverse through the dungeon over to this next tile here. It's going to cost me only 1 time. As long as you're traveling through pre-explored tiles, you only take 1 time to get to the next tile. So I get over to this tile. I gain an ability point because it's the start of a new turn. And we discover that I am being hunted. Level 1 rogues, if I'm hit by an agility attack this turn, I'm going to lose a health and an agility. So I get a double whammy if I get hit. It's only a couple level 1 rogues, and thankfully I spent my last turn really transforming myself into a very fast demon. So I'm going to choose not to use my ability, Demonic Fire, and they're going to get to attack me. They've got 8 agility, but I've got a whopping 13 now, so their chance of hitting me is pretty low. With a 3, that is definitely a miss. Now rogues do have an ability, because they're sneaky and fast. First time that you have, for each rogue in the party beyond the first, the heroes perform 1 additional agility attack for the first round of combat. And this is the first round of combat. So they get a 2nd agility attack. That's an 8. That is a hit. That is really unfortunate. No matter how fast I am, they have a chance to hit me. But not only do they hit me, but because I'm being hunted and I'm hit by an agility attack, I actually lose a health and an agility. So I'm down to 3 health. I don't even get to choose for that one. And an agility, which I could do to my health, but I'm going to lose my agility because my health is in desperate shape right now. Okay. I'm going to fight back. Now I could use my might or my magic or my agility. And even though I roll a d20 for agility, I have a better chance of hitting them with my magic roll. So I'm going to roll my d12 for magic and fire on in. 4 against their 2 defense. One of those rogues goes down. One thing I forgot last time, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I forgot I was supposed to gain 2 more dynamic points there. Okay, so the rogue attacks back. They've only got a d4 now. They rolled a 2, which is a miss. They could have hit me if they rolled a 4. I'll attack with my magic. 3, that's a hit. That guy's down. And I will gain 2 more dynamic points because I defeated 2 more heroes. Alright, and so I've safely defeated the hunted tile. So I'll continue to move on. I will go down to 10 time, gain an ability point, so I'm up to 2 ability points. I will gain this D6 Dominion here and explore this 4-way tile. This 4-way tile we have Battle Magic. I get to add the hero's might stat to their magic stat when they attack, so they're a little bit stronger for the magic attack, but either way, we have a level 1 fighter, level 1 wizard, so we will pull that up. Make sure I don't pull the level 2s because those are stronger. Alright, so these 2 are going to be battling me, which means they get a might attack and an agility attack. Put those on the table there. I do have 2 ability points. I could do a Dominion support card for my hand or do some Demonic Fire, but this looks like a relatively easy battle for a powerful demon like myself. These are just low-level adventurers trying to make a name for themselves in the dungeon, and unfortunately they came across me, the Daimon. Alright, so I'm going to fight them. First they get to attack me with might. They don't have any group bonuses, so with might they just have a... Normally they'd have a 5, which is a d6 attack, but again it says here that they add the hero's might stat to their magic stat when they attack. I'm not attacking with magic yet, so that doesn't apply yet. So attack d6 for might. 1 is a miss, and then for magic, normally I'd roll a d6, but I get to add the might. So they're actually going to roll a d10 for magic because of that tile, because they have battle magic. D10 is still probably not likely to, well, it has a good chance of hitting actually. 8 against my 6 is a hit. So I will take a damage. I'll take it right to my magic because my health is in a tough spot right now. And I'm going to attack back. I think I'm going to go after their agility because both of them are not very fast. They've only got a 3, so I'm going to roll right in with my d20. I've got an 8, so that's a hit. And because they add their might to their magic, it makes more sense to get rid of the wizard first, because now we just have this puny, brainless fighter attacking me. He gets a d4 on his fighter. That's right, I said you're brainless. That's a 1. See, critical missed on a d4. So I'll attack back with my agility, whack that guy out of commission, and gain 2 more points. So I'm up to 6 dynamic points. So because I've achieved my second dynamic die, the second die goes to 2 pips. So now I have 3 points worth of modifications that I can do to any die at any time, and make myself there. Okay, so I could go down and around the corner and try to earn that health, but going down there would do more damage to myself, and I'm doing all right on getting dynamic dice, so I don't need to make my way there yet. I could go up and try to upgrade my magic, but right now I'm going straight for the die tile. So I'll flip that over. Again, showed you this earlier in the game, and I would have known this was there from the dungeon map, but I'm going to be fighting the assassin, plus a level 1 rogue and 2 level 1 clerics. And I cannot use abilities while a cleric is in the party. So again, when I moved there, I had to lose a time, and I had to gain an ability point. So I'm up to 3 ability points. And we will fight the assassin, and a level 1 rogue, and 2 level 1 clerics. So there we have it. Now the assassin, you may have seen this from other games, but the assassin cannot be defeated until the other heroes are defeated, so you can't even go after the assassin until the clerics are gone and the other rogue is gone. When he's alone, he becomes stronger, and if at any time this party succeeds on an agility attack, it does an extra damage. So the assassin helps encourage the other rogue how to fight well. So I have 3 ability points. I could go in and use my intimidation, and if I did that, every hero card in combat would be reduced down by 1 level, but these are already level 1s, so not a very useful card. That could come in very handy when I'm fighting the Patriarch. I could use the Dominion support, or I can just battle these guys without Dominion support. I do have 3 ability points, and I'm going to earn a few more before I go fight off the Patriarch, so I could fire this up, and it says I would add 2d6 to my next attack roll of any kind. If I roll higher than 2 times their stat value, I would get to defeat 2 heroes instead of 1, so I think I'm going to initiate that. It's going to cost me 2 ability points. I'll be back down to 1, and I'll be doing that when I roll my dice. Now first they get to roll their dice though, and they get 1 agility attack. Their agility is 16, 20, 24, so they get to roll a d20 for agility. I have a pretty high agility, so I have a good chance to block this, but they hit an 18. So, because there is a rogue in the party and they rolled higher than 15, after the first agility attack in combat, they're going to perform 1 more agility attack. And because they did an agility hit, I'm taking 2 damage from that particular strike. So these guys really know how to hit where it hurts. First I take an agility damage and another agility damage. I'm going to take it to my agility stat. And then they get to attack 1 more time before I can counterattack. They rolled a 10. A 10 against my 10 is a miss. They have to exceed my number unless it was their max roll. So thankfully I dodged that second attack. So I get a chance to attack back. I get to add 2d6 to my next attack roll of any kind. So looking at their stats, we have a might of 12, 14, 16 might, and I roll a d8. So that could be tough. Their agility is 16, 20, 22, 24 agility. So that is really high. Even though I roll a d20, that's still beyond my capacity without support. And then their magic is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. and I roll a d12. So the only stat I could naturally defeat them on without any support is magic. Plus I can boost, and I've got lots of extra dominions that I found this game. So I am going to do a magic attack. That makes the most sense. And I chose to do dominion support because I had to choose to use that ability before my roll. So I rolled 4, plus 6 is 10, 13 for my magic attack. And their magic defense is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is a hit, but I didn't roll 2 times higher, so I only get to defeat 1 hero. So I'll take out 1 cleric, and my Dominion support card is gone. But I had fun with that. I think it helped me get the hit I needed to get. So they're going to strike back with agility. They've got 16, 20, 22. 16 is a hit. It's higher than 10, or higher than 15, so they're going to attack me again, and I take 2 damage. Whammo! They attack for their second attack because of that bonus ability. 17. So 17 is a hit. I'm going to take 2 more damage. I will take 1 health damage and 1 agility this time. Don't want to go down too far on my agility. Now, one thing to note is that no matter how much damage I take to my agility, I never downgrade my die. Once I've become that powerful, I'm always that powerful. It's just it takes away my modification powers and how easy it is to hit me because I'm slowing down or I'm getting weaker or my magic is lessening. Okay, the Die Man is not very happy with that hit. And what are we going to do about it, folks? Well, we're going to go in with a magic attack again. And I'm probably going to have to use some Dominion support this time. So I have a 9 against their 6, 7, 8, 9. So I could either use a Dominion or I could just use a dynamic die. I'm going to use that dynamic die and boost this up to a 10. Didn't even have to use my stat. And so I can take out that cleric there. Alright, they're going to attack back. They've got 20, so they still get to attack me with a d20. Now remember, I could use my dynamic die to reduce their roll if they get within range but not too close. But they rolled a 17 again, so even if I reduce that to a 15, that would still hit me hard. I've got to take 2 damage. I'm going to take both to my agility because my health is down to a whopping 2. So I'm down to 5 agility points. And they get another attack because it was over 15 and they have a rogue in the party. They rolled a 7 against my 5. That is a hit. They hit with agility, so I got to take 2 damage again. I'm down to 3. Man, this assassin knows how to stab and how to hit in this bloody rogue. So it's time for me to fight back. Again, I cannot kill the assassin until I've killed everybody else in the party. That's the assassin's special ability, and it's painful for me. So I will roll d12 magic again. I rolled a 9. Whoops, sorry about that. 9 against their 7. That's a hit. So I kill the last rogue. And that only leaves the assassin left. Now the assassin, once they're alone, they get +2 to their might and agility. So has 12 might, 18 agility. They still get to roll a d20 to attack me. But thankfully there's no more rogue in the party. And rolled a 6, which is a hit. I've got to take 2 damage. I will take a health damage, and I will take an agility damage. So I'm down to 2 because I had to take the extra damage because anytime agility damage is dealt, I still take an extra 1, no matter how low the roll is. Ooh. One of the things I could have been doing, by the way, is I could sacrifice a Dominion to take the damage for that particular turn. Actually, you know what? That is what I'm going to do this turn. Because the Dominions can be used to boost dice or to take a hit. So this Kubera is going to take a hit for me. Wow. Sorry, Kubera. My turn to attack back. I will hit with my magic where it hurts. I rolled a 5 against their 6. That's a miss. I really can't afford to get hit again. So I'm going to pull out another d6 Dominion that I had and add that to my die roll. So I roll a d6 and I add a 1, so I'm up to 6 against their 6. You know what? I'll just lose the agility for my last point there and bring that up to a 2. So I have 7 against 6 and I've defeated the assassin. Very painful battle, very painful. I defeated 4 heroes, so I gained 4 more dynamic points there for that next die. Whew! And that is the first epic party. Now, if you're playing a multiplayer game, you might hold on to that die token just to remember that you have defeated, and all your opponents know that you've defeated an epic party, which is often the purpose of the game. Okay, so I have 9 time left. I'm running out of options here. My health is low, my might is low. I do have the option, it's the beginning of the next turn, I have the option to rest, so I am going to do that. I'm going to rest, and by resting I can reduce my time by up to 3 to gain that much health. So I'm going to reduce my time by 2, so I'll go down to 7 time and gain 2 health to bring myself up to 4. Just trying to see if I can buy enough health to survive the Patriarch battle. And given the pain that I'm in right now and the situation I'm in, I think I'm just going to dash to the end. So I have to use 1 time to do that, so I'm down to 6. And let's see what this tile has to offer. We have here Deadly. If I'm hit this battle, I lose an additional health point. It doesn't matter how I'm hit on this one. And I have to fight a level 1 fighter and a level 1 rogue. That is a much better battle than the ones I've been in lately, so I'm happy about that. I forgot I gained an ability point. I am not going to use an ability. I want to save my abilities to be able to maybe use Die in the Flames or Intimidation against the final battle here. So we'll just let them attack. They've got 6 for their might, miss, and they've got 6 for their agility, miss. So I get to attack back. I will attack my magic die again. 11, that's a hit. We'll just knock out the rogues because I've had enough of them. The fighter gets to attack me with a d4. 2 is a miss. I'll attack back with magic. 12 is a hit. Take out that fighter. That was a pretty easy victory for me. Gain 2 Dominion points, which means this turns into a 3-pip and goes here. Excellent. Time's running out. Knock myself down to 5 as I explore the next tile. Gain an ability point. I'm up to 3. When I travel this way, I get this other Dominion and flip over the tile. And we have here some archers. What do the archers say? They say roll the die type for each Dominion I control. If it rolls a 1 or a 2, I must destroy it. So the heroes are in the tunnels. They're firing arrows at the archers before we approach. Or firing arrows at my Dominions. So for each Dominion I control, I have to roll their die type. So I have to roll a d6, a d6, and a d20. So, and that kind of represents that it's a lot harder to kill the mighty Twent than it is to kill the simple Cubera, or the even simpler quad of the d4 Dominion. Not in this game, but I'll roll all 3. If I roll a 1 or 2 on any of those, they die. So all my Dominions survive the archers. But not only that, there's still 2 level 1 rogues sitting in this tile. So there we go. They're going to fight me as well. They'll get an extra attack in the first round of combat because there's more than 1 rogue. So we're just going to... Ooh. That's a tough one because even though they're really weak level 1s, I'm worn down. I only have 2 agility left and 4 health points. So is there anything I want to do to these guys? Demonic Fire helps against their defense, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to beat that anyway. I can't knock them down a level, so my Intimidation doesn't work. So I'm really just stuck in a standard fight with these guys. So the rogues are going to attack. They have a d8 because they have a total of 8 agility. Roll a d8, that's a 4. That is a hit. Thankfully they're not doing any extra damage, but I will still take a damage, so I'm still going to take it to my agility as long as I can. They get an extra attack because there's a second rogue. That's a hit. So I'm down to 1 agility. Oops, wrong one. Down to 1 agility on a d20. I'm so glad I had all those extra points in the early game. Okay, so I'm going to fight back. Their magic attack is weak. I'd rather use my magic again instead of going up against their mighty 8. So we'll roll a d12 for magic. 12 is a hit, so we kill one of these rogues. This guy still gets to attack me though. Only a d4, so maybe he'll miss. A 2 against my 1 is still a hit, so now I have no choice but to take a health damage. Down to 3 health. I get to fight back. Roll in with my magic. That's a 2 against their 1, still a hit. Take that guy out. get 2 Dominion points, or dynamic dice points, and call that the end of that round. So I've got 5 time. I'm going up against the Patriarch and whatever's on that tile with them, and my stats are pretty low. But I think I have a chance. I think I could actually defeat this dungeon. So what I'm going to do is heal before I go into that battle. So I'm going to take my 5. Could bring it all the way down to 2. Is what I'm going to do. Bring it down to 2. Gain 3 health. So I'm up to 6 as I go into the final battle of this dungeon. We're going to be battling up against this epic party. That's the Patriarch, accompanied by a fighter and a rogue, but they are level 4s, so this is a tougher tile than it looks. Dominions suffer a -2 to their rolls this battle. Oof, that's what I was relying on for some support, my little Dominions. Okay, so the Patriarch, a 2/2/12, accompanied by a level 4 fighter, a 10/8/6, and a level 4 rogue, a 5/20/6. So, oof. And you might want to know, what does the Patriarch do? Well, the Patriarch can only be hit if I roll a 1 on my attack roll. I can use stat points to reduce my attack roll. So I really do want to roll low and attack with my lowest stat when I'm trying to defeat the Patriarch. Creature abilities cannot be used while Patriarch is in play, and the Patriarch must be defeated first. So like a cleric must be defeated first, but I can only hit it with a 1, which I can use my stat points to reduce. So what would I want to attack with to try to get a 1? Well, first they get to attack me, unfortunately. Now when I moved there I did gain a stat point, so I'm up to 4, or ability points, sorry. I'm up to 4 ability points, but creature abilities cannot be used while the Patriarch is in play. So I can't use any of my abilities right now anyway until I knock this guy out. So they get the free attacks. Fighter's going to attack first with their might. Total might is 10, 12, 17. So that is a d20 for sure. Are we going to die in the dungeon this turn? Guess we're going to find out. A 2. A 2 against my 2. Yay, I survived that. And there's no other fighters in the party, so they don't get a bonus to their attack roll there. So I'm happy about that. But then, what I was worried about from the beginning, dexterity attack and agility attack. They have 20 on their own, so they're going to roll a 20. They rolled a 1. Wow. Got lucky. 1 against 1 is still a miss. No pluses there. Okay, so I do get to attack back before anything happens. Now I can't use my abilities, so all I have to do is take out this Patriarch by getting a 1. So I'm definitely not going to attack. I'm going to attack with one of my lowest stats. So I'll attack with my might, and I'll be relying on my dynamic dice probably to reduce my roll, because I don't really have any stat points to reduce my roll with. The other option is to, yeah, maybe I will do magic. So why would I want to do magic? Well, because I have more points I can reduce it by, and there's no mage, so I'm not going to die by getting hit by magic. So let's try that. Roll the die. I rolled an 11. The most I could reduce this by is 4, because I can't go down below 1. So I can bring that down to 7. I don't have enough, so I'm going to have to let them have another round of attacks. Fighter's going to attack me. 16, definitely a hit. Or sorry, yeah. And because it's over 10, I'm going to take an extra damage. So take a might damage, and I'll take the other one as a health damage. Okay. Then the assassin gets to attack me. I call him assassin because he's such a beefed up rogue. 20 attack. 13, that is a hit. Thankfully it's not over 15, so he doesn't get an extra hit. So I can take a agility damage, which I don't have, or a regular damage. Okay, my turn to attack back. Again, we're going to give this a whirl. Trying against the Patriarch. A 6. Alright, we can do it this time. So 6, I reduce this down to a 1, which reduces this down to a 2. And then I'll use one of my dynamic dice to reduce it down to a 1. So now we've defeated the Patriarch. Ooh, that was terrible. Terrible. and we proceed to the next round of combat. Now that the next round of combat's begun and the Patriarch is dead, I could use abilities. So I could summon Dominions, but I already have Dominions. I could Intimidation, reduce them by 1 level each, or I could have Die in the Flames, roll a magic attack for each hero in combat, all using the stat value from the start of combat. Each attack must target a different hero. So basically I would roll a magic attack for each hero in combat, using the stat value from the start of combat. So it gives me extra magic attack, so I would use my magic attack against these guys. Now they have 12 magic. Even if I kill one of them, the other one would still have a 12 magic defense, is what that card reads. But I've got Dominions to boost it with. So I could slaughter them both with Die in the Flames. Let's give Die in the Flames its opportunity to shine. So there's a reason it costs 4 ability points. I use all 4 ability points that I've been saving up. And I roll my d12, knowing that they've got 12 defense. So against this guy here, I roll a d12. I've got a 5. I will add a d6 to the roll. Oopsie. Ooh. I will add another d6 to the roll. So now I'm up to 9, 10 against 12, and I'll use 3 of my dynamic dice points. And so that's 5, 9, 10, 13. So that's enough to take this guy out. Alright, I've used up 2 more Dominions. Oh. Dominions suffer a -2 to their rolls this battle. That's not enough. That's not enough. We'll roll the last Dominion. Okay, so that's a 3. That's a 2. We'll just reduce them physically. So that's a 3. That's a 2. So that's 5, 10, plus my 3 dynamic points. That's 13. So I had to use all of my Dominions to be able to smash that warrior. Now I still get to roll a d12 against this guy, but I've got only 1 point left to boost it with. So I roll my second part of my Die in the Flames. I rolled a 12 against their 12. I use my 1, which brings it to 13, and that's enough to take down the 12 magic that he had. Ooh. So with only 4 health and 1 on each of my stats, I was able to defeat dungeon level 6 that had 2 epic parties, a level 1 and a level 4 epic party, with the interesting mechanic of the Patriarch, where you actually have to roll low to hit it. So there you have it. That's another playthrough of Die in the Dungeon. Hope you like how the gameplay is working, and if you have any suggestions or feedback on what you've seen here, there's still time to change the game a little bit. The Kickstarter is launching June 2nd, and it'll go all through most of the month of June, and then there's still a little bit of time to tweak things before that. So trying to make the best game I can for those of you that are watching and interested in what Die in the Dungeon is. And so again, open to suggestions within reason, keeping in mind that I'm trying to keep the game somewhat light as a solo game with lots of dice rolling, plenty of luck, but also, as you saw there, I had to do a lot of different strategic timing moves in order to actually make it through this dungeon alive, because I easily could have passed away after a few more strikes. Alright, take care. Thanks for watching.